You are sacred, you are special, and you are unique. You can't just let anybody in. Hey y'all, it's me, Naturally Sage. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to 2024. In today's video, we are going to be doing a full vision boarding. I'm so excited that y'all are here with me today. Y'all, let's start the year off strong because I don't know about y'all, but seasonal depression be kicking my booty. I want to get ahead of it this year. I always go through a post-holiday blues a little bit, and it gets a lot colder in Chicago and it's snowing. I just want to stay in the bed. But this year, as one of my friends was telling me, we're playing offense. We ain't playing defense this year because life be kicking my booty. It's time for me to set up plays, score, and win. In order to do that this year, I'm being a lot more mindful about my vision board. We are doing a digital vision board as well as a paper vision board. I'm very much a 90s baby and I love seeing things actually on paper and working things with my hands. So I definitely wanted to do a physical one, but I also need a background on my computer and I need a reminder on my laptop as well. So we're gonna do it both ways. So instead of doing a random list of a bunch of things that I want to do better at or do more of and less of this, I decided let's zoom out a little bit. Let's zoom out. Let's stop thinking about the specifics of what I actually want to do or who I want to be and zoom out and think about the essence. What is the essence of 2024? What are the vibes? What era am I in, you know? So we're going to have our overarching theme of the year, but I'm also going to each month have little adjustments. So for example, my essence / theme of the year is healthy, abundant, light. Those are the words that I'm going to keep going back to and keep relating every single one of my goals to. I'm going to break it down into each category. What types of things are going to make me more healthy? What types of things are going to make me more abundant? What types of things are going to help me share my light? Okay, now that we have our overarching theme / era / essence and energy that we're going to bring into 2024, the next step is to break it down just a little bit more. We want to be able to take all of our mini goals and actually have actionable steps to go along with those things. You feel me? For example, for healthy, I'm breaking that down into mind, body, and spirit. And this is where I'm coming up with different things that I want to do better at or do more of or just be more intentional with. This list of things are not all new things. Some of these things on this list are things that I already do, but I want to continue to do. I think it's important when we're setting our New Year's resolutions or goals or intentions, whatever you want to call it, that we're not just making a list of completely new things that we've never done before. I think it's great to add some, new and different things because we want to stay uncomfortable. We want our goals to align with who we are. So some of the things on the list should be things that we're already doing. Having a list of all things that you've never done before and you just want to start from scratch, that's a little bit overwhelming. We want to make this list into bite-sized chunks and build on the foundation that we already have. So for me, for my mind, I want to journal daily. I want to do my breathing exercises, check in with my mind and body, read more fantasy books because I already read books, but I read a lot of self-help right now and I'm just over it. It's been getting harder getting through some of these books. I'm tired of having a takeaway, a learning experience, writing notes. I just want to read and have my own picture in my mind. So I want to read more fantasy and I want to talk nicer to myself. Our thoughts become our beliefs, become our values, become our actions, become who we are, and everything starts with a thought. And I'd like to say I'm a decently positive person, but I can be more positive. I can talk to myself nicer. I can look at myself as if we're friends. Like, that's my homegirl. If my friend came to me with this same problem, would I give her the same energy that I'm giving myself? Probably not. I'm very hard on myself and I'm sure that a lot of y'all are too. We can really be our own worst critic. So I want to talk nicer to myself. For my body, I want to move daily. I would like to have 10K steps a day, but I think 5 to 10 is a little bit more realistic. We don't want to pick goals that are too lofty because it's not sustainable and it's not something that we're going to endure for a long time. Then we're going to quit. Then we're not going to believe that we can keep our promises to ourselves. And that is so important. You creating goals, a list of goals with the value or belief that you can't trust yourself or you don't believe in yourself to actually carry out these things is not setting you up for success when you want to reach and obtain goals that are bigger and larger than life. The other two things that I want to do for my body is stretch daily and do more movement exercises, not just static stretching, but dynamic stretching as well. And then the last thing is moisturize and pamper. I will get out of the shower, throw lotion on, and then just, that's it. I want to sit at my desk, take my time, moisturize my body, do an oil, layer things. As for spirit, I want to read my devotional daily. I generally do a good job reading the devotional, but I don't always read it with intention. So I want to make sure that I'm actually present and intentional while I'm doing it, as well as pray. I do talk to God, and I think we're cool. But I think I could definitely do a better job of not just praying and asking for things and expressing gratitude for the things that I already have instead of just asking for more. As for abundance, I want to practice affirmations more and doing them in the mirror. I will lay in bed and kind of visualize and say things to myself, but I want to actually look myself in the eye and say the things. And for the days when I'm having a hard time articulating my thoughts, I have a list in my notes of my 2024 affirmations. I don't have to say them all, they're just ideas, just a place to start, to look at, and go from there. Another thing when it comes to abundance is releasing the mindset of scarcity and the mindset of lack. That is something that I definitely have to unpack a little bit more before I can give concrete things that I'm actually gonna do to do that. But that's something that I definitely want to work on this year. And then for light, I want to continue to spread positivity and hopefully inspire others to be their authentic selves by being my authentic self. Sometimes as a socially anxious person, I don't fully open up to people, and I don't think that it's necessary or people deserve to know parts of you. But I do think that it would be helpful sometimes for other people that I create that warm, light, loving space for them to fully open up and have their own safe space. I realize that I am super blessed to have a relationship where that is my reality, and I want to be able to create that space for other people because maybe they don't have that space. Now that we've broken down our theme a little bit, it's time for the hard part. It is time for the part that I personally be dreading, and that is the mental housework of forgiveness. I have to actually read this because I wrote this down and I feel like the way that I wrote it articulates how I'm feeling perfectly. When dust builds up, you clean it, and when things get cluttered, you organize, donate, or get rid of things. When you're thinking about revenge and resentment, your mind is cluttered with negative energy and holds you back. Forgiveness is the deep cleaning your mind needs for peace and self-love. I didn't realize this until recently that forgiveness is an act of self-love. Not just forgiving others, but forgiving yourself. Forgiving the past versions of you that's made mistakes or done things that maybe you're not super proud of. That version of you deserves forgiveness. And I'm not saying that everybody around you deserves forgiveness and you should just forgive everybody and let them back into your space. No, we can forgive without forgetting. We don't have to forget what other people have done to us. But in order to feel peace and actually have that self-love and get rid of all of that negativity, you have to forgive people. Everybody, well, I don't want to say everybody, but a lot of people are out here doing their best. And sometimes their best is not good enough. And we have to decide whether they deserve a space in your life. And yes, I'm using the word deserve very intentionally here because people don't just deserve to be around you, ingest your energy, and be a part of you in your life. You are sacred, you are special, and you are unique. You can't just let anybody in. And if you feel energy like some of us empathetic people do, you know that different people's energies can change and shift the way you move, the way you feel, the way an interaction, an event, an experience goes. When you let negative energy in the first place, you're already kind of messing with your own aura. And if you don't just forgive and let go, girl, it is gonna be a long road because you can't fully focus on your goals and the things that you wanna do if you're holding on to this negativity that has to do with somebody else. It's really hard. I've spent a long time forgiving people, letting go. And sometimes it's okay to let those people in your life, but not have the same level of access that they used to. I do this thing in my mind where myself, I'm like a concert. We have the people who can sit on the floor. Okay, we have our VIPs that can see me very closely. Then we have our general admission. Y'all can get in, but you might not be able to see me as well. You're not as close to me. You can't touch me. You feel me? And then we have our nosebleed peoples. Those are our acquaintances. I don't mind you. Your energy's cool. You haven't done anything wrong to me, but I also don't have a reason to bring you in close. The people who are close to me have fought tooth and nail to be close to me. I view my energy as something that's very special and very unique and sacred to me. So that is why I kind of view my life like that. Because I don't want just anybody getting the same access to me. I'm not going to meet somebody and they know me immediately. You might have an idea of me, but I'm not going to be oversharing, sharing all of my personal information, my entire backstory. I'm not going to get that deep with people right away because it takes time to really see who people are. And people will show you over time. When you meet somebody the first couple times, they are giving you their best self. They're performing, they're doing their thing. Saying all that to say that it's important to protect your energy, protect your peace, forgive and not forget. Okay, now that we've let all that go, we've cleaned out the negative energy, we've decluttered, what's next? What is next? Now we have to flood the mind with positivity. We have to flood the mind with the affirmations of the things that we want to see and that we want to be. Instead of saying, I want, I need, we are saying, I am. We are creating the version of ourselves that we know is there. Because we have so many different versions of us. We know that it girl is in there. She just sometimes doesn't show up as much to the other versions of me that's in my head. I don't know if y'all seen the movie Inside Out, but I definitely view my mind like that, where I have different versions of Kara in there. And sometimes the it girl, she just don't show up. She don't get out of bed. We're going to keep doing those affirmations. We're going to look at ourselves in the mirror. We're going to see it, feel it, and believe it. And affirmations are really important because, like I said before, our thoughts become our reality. Everything that we think in our mind is very tied to our reality, which in turn is tied to our actions and how we actually move about this life. We picked our theme. We've broken it down. We forgave and let go. We said our affirmations. Now what? Now we're going to build trust in ourselves. In order to actually follow through on these goals, we're going to have to believe and trust ourselves. You can't in your mind say, oh, I'm going to do X, Y, Z. I'm going to brush and floss my teeth tonight. And then you only brush. When you say you're going to do something in your mind and you've made it up, you have to follow through. And I'm not just saying this to y'all. I am saying this to myself, me, us. We all have to do it. Because when you let yourself down, and I know that sounds kind of dramatic because it is, but when you let yourself down on the little things, brushing your teeth, having oral hygiene, body care, skin care, hair care, presenting yourself in a way that makes you proud, when you let yourself down on those things, you're not going to get to the bigger things on the list. And I know that from personal experience because I've definitely had an era of that where my self-care lacked and I was wondering why I couldn't reach my goals. Because you have to build the foundation of actually loving yourself and trusting yourself before you can do the big thing. It might work for somebody to just ignore all of that, not do the self-work and the inner work and get to the top. But then when they get to the top, they're lonely, sad. They realize that none of this matters. Don't you want to get to the top feeling peaceful, abundant, and light? That's how I'm trying to move. That's how I'm trying to get there. I want to do it respectfully, responsibly, and intentionally. In order to do that, I have to trust myself and love myself. I also do want to say it's not just about being really hard and disciplined on yourself. It's about living at your edge and saying, is it really reasonable that I brush and floss my teeth tonight? Yeah, I think it is. Let's do it. We're not just setting goals or setting things that we want to do without intention. We are setting these goals with the mind that we are getting one step closer to the next thing, one step closer to the next thing. It is one step at a time. Take one step at a time. There's no need to rush. We are taking this with baby steps. We're not trying to take 10 steps forward, just one step at a time, friend. Now that we've got all that inner work down, I'm gonna go ahead and make my digital vision board. First thing that I'm gonna do is go into Canva, make a YouTube thumbnail, and then I'm gonna go into my Pinterest. I've already made a board, a vision for 2024, so I have a ton of different pins saved. And then I'm making a little folder on my desktop where I'm gonna save all of these images that are on my vision board. We're gonna click those 3 little dots in the top right of the photo, click download image, and then save it in your folder. Then once we have our whole folder together, we're gonna go back into Canva, click our little upload on that left-hand side, and we're gonna upload all of the images. Now that we have all of our images uploaded, we're just clicking them to add them to our little Canva page. And I'm just gonna start resizing and moving things around as we go until it's to my liking. I like to start with the ends and the center and pick photos that really resonate with me because the eye usually goes to the center or the corners. So we're gonna start with maybe a quote in the middle and some pictures that really resonate with me on the outsides and kind of work our way in. And then we're gonna end up with something like this. This is how my vision board ended up for 2024, my digital one. And now we can go ahead and work on our physical planner. I went to the Walgreens, I printed out about 50 pictures, and then I got this. It is a 16 by 20 picture frame, and I got some double-sided tape, some glue sticks, a couple other little things to add to the board. Once we have all of our materials, we're gonna spread everything out on the table so we can see it all. And I'm gonna start cutting. I don't really have a specific strategy when it comes to cutting. I just know that I like my edges rounded and that I have a lot of photos and I wanna fit a lot on there, so I'm gonna kind of trim as much as possible. I also suggest when you're doing your vision board that you add photos of yourself because you need to be part of the vision. You are the vision. You are the main character. So you need to be on the board too. You can also pick pictures that you've taken. Some of these pictures that I've actually taken that I put on my board as well, because why not? Your life is the vision. You are the vision. Period. I did part of the vision board with the girls and then I did part of it alone, and it was definitely a lot more fun with the girls to bounce ideas off of. So if you have girlfriends, I highly suggest doing this with them. It's a lot better together. All right, y'all, that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful in any way. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Naturally Sage. I ain't the